Welcome to another episode of NBA Assists. I'm your host, Ronald Cabang from WagerTalk.com, also known as UCapper Sports on all social media platforms. Today we got two games on the board. I'm going to do it a little bit different today just because, we have a little bit of extra time to run through these games. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and kind of show some of the sources that I use during my handicapping process. Also, I have that giveaway today. I'm going to give out a uh, Tyrese Haliburton rookie card right there. We also have Cam Johnson rookie card there, a little red wave. Um, and that's good. The details of that will be towards the end of the show here. Uh, Also, before we get into the game breakdowns, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification button as well, so you're notified with all the shows that's going on over at Wager Talk TV here on YouTube. And also need to mention, the promos that are going on for myself here. Obviously, the NBA is the primary focus. I'm hitting over 56% of my NBA plays right now. I'm currently on a 14-2-1 run in the NBA. So definitely a time to take advantage of the hot streak here. There's two promo codes to mention: Assist 50, that gets you 50% off a 3 or 7 day all access pass to try out. That is a one-time use code. And then another promo we got going on is Hoops 499. That's to get the rest of the NBA season through the NBA Finals and the championship for $499, and that equates to roughly a little bit over $2 per day if you get it now. So a couple promos there to take note of, and you can see on the scroll on the bottom, wt.buzz/RC brings you straight to my capper page, so you can see some of the details there. All right, let's get into this first game here. I will share my screen there. So we look at the Wager Talk Live odds screen page here. We have the NBA, Brooklyn and Miami. We have the number, well, consensus is 214.5, minus 3.5 here. Still seeing some 215s. So it seems like the number continues to go down from the 219 open. And then Miami is up to 3.5 from the 2.5 open. So a couple things that I want to bring up here on how I pull data, right? So we can go to the current season 2023, and we'll just go to team equals nets. And this brings up some general records and some of the numbers there. So Nets are 6-5 straight up, 9-1-1 against the spread, 6-5 to the over. One of the things that I wanted to focus in on specifically is their 3-point shooting, though. If you go to the NBA site and you go to scoring, this part shows the percentage of points, where the percentage of points come from, and the Nets are third in the amount of points being scored percentage wise from the 3-point line, 40.6%. And if we look towards the Nets, the Heat here, we'll look at opponent 3-point percentage. The Heat are one of the worst teams at defending the three, allowing 38.6% from the 3-point land. So that's one of the main focuses that I took into handicapping this game. But if we go back to killersports.com here, you'll notice that they faced each other already earlier in the season. 109-105 win for the Nets in Miami. So they've already done this before. And that day, the Nets hit 16 threes. They shot 44% from the from the 3-point land. And then another thing to mention here, if you go to the Heat side, 7-4 straight up, 4-7 against the spread, 7-4 to the under. And if we focus primarily at home, they actually struggled to cover games here. 0-4 against the spread, 3-1 to the under. You can see they're giving up an average of 108 points per game. The number that I was really focusing in on was the Nets team total over, and which was 106 this morning is what I saw. And obviously they've given up over 106 in 3 of those home games. They limited the Pistons to 102, but in my opinion, I think the Nets are well above the Pistons offensively. Also, that statistical interaction that I was mentioning earlier, the 3-point offense for the Nets versus the Heat's 3-point defense, that was pretty strong there. One other thing to mention here is we look at the road and home splits, I think, for the Nets. So if we go Nets, and you could kind of split these from home and road. So if we go on the road, 3-2 straight up, 4-1 against the spread, 3-2 to the under. You can see that they're averaging on the road 115.6 per game, and they face some great defenses, right? So they face the Celtics, the Heat, the Bulls. I wouldn't say they're the greatest defense, but I think they're in the middle of the pack. Let me just double check that. So we go advanced stats. We go here. Yeah, in the middle right there. So they played some decent defenses, and they showed out. They None of these games, they've been under 106, and like I said, 106 is that threshold there for the team total over. So they've surpassed that in every single game so far. Obviously, it's really tight there, but the Heat, like I said, the Heat struggle against the three ball, and they play a similar pace too. If you go to pace of play, when you go pace of play and you see them two teams pretty similar in pace, I feel like to me that tells me that they're going to be comfortable with how they're going to be playing today, and that brings a little bit of confidence on the offensive side of the ball that they're just going to flow pretty well both sides. So to me, the ways that I looked at it at this game was sort of towards the over or towards the Nets team total over. I think that the total is going in the wrong direction, coming from 119 to 114 and a half, 115. Another thing to mention on the Heat side here. So if we go a little bit deeper, look at the Heat historically from road to home, like long road trips, and then the first game home. The reason why to me it makes sense is because like they're in the corner of the country, so whenever they have a long road trip and they travel, they can hit that travel fatigue, and once they hit home, obviously the the line's gonna shift in value because they're at home, but sometimes they move it a little bit too much because they still got an adjustment period to make with their first game home. So if we go back and I try to stick with the same coaching era and primarily some of the same players. So one, I looked at 2018 and team equals Heat and site streak is is less than or equal to -4. This tells me that they were on the road for at least 4 games and then they're at home. So, there's no huge, um, clear, record here from the spread or the total perspective, right? 10-11, or 11-10 to the over. But where it makes a lot of sense to me here is the DPA. DPA is delta points allowed, meaning like how much they allowed their opponent to score above or under their expected team total, right? So they've allowed teams to go over their team total in 16 of 21 games, right? So 15, 16 and 5, 15 and 6, sorry. So they allowed their opponents to go over the team total 15 times out of 21 games, 15 and 6 to the team total over. And that's what really pointed me towards the Nets team total here. I think their defense is they're not going to have the legs to play defense with this Nets team, especially like I said, the ability to score from the perimeter. The Nets should be able to take advantage of the tired legs, in my opinion. So the two ways that I would look at this would be the Nets on the spread and also the Nets team total over. All right, so let's move on to the next one here, and we'll go back to the WagerTalk live on screen page. And we got the Thunder and the Warriors right now. We got the Thunder -3, total down to 226.5. So it went up to 227 and it's coming down back to 226.5. So a little bit of a buyback there on the under. And a lot of people thinking that the Thunder roll on this one. We're even seeing some 3.5s here, one at Caesar. So when I looked at this game here, I don't have any action on this one, but if we look at this game here, obviously, I think one of the main things you want to look at is the Warriors without Curry and Draymond Green. So, and Give Me the Dog is another site that I use to pull my information, and this one is saying without Curry, without Draymond, how have the Warriors done? And I looked specifically since 2020, and 7-12 straight up, 9-10 against the spread, 10-9 to the under. you can see the average amount of points 107.5, allowing 117.6 per game. So I mean they're losing by a pretty big margin here. So obviously they're dogs for the most part, but a lot of these games are on the road, right? But they're at home today. So one thing you could do is just see, all right, what happens when they're at home. And during that span, very, very small sample size. So I don't take this a little too seriously, but 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread here. They've been able to take care of business. Last couple of times was last year, Warriors versus Rockets, Warriors versus the Wolves here prior to that, 2020. So it doesn't happen often where both of those guys are out at home. And then if we go here and we just bring up current season stats, right? Go to the Thunder. All right. We'll wait for that to load. We'll just come over here and look at a few things. One of the biggest things with the Thunder is their defensive rating, especially the last few games here. So if we look at defensive rating here on NBA.com, you can see the Thunder here, 7th overall in defensive rating, but their home road splits have been pretty dramatic. If you look at them at home, and you look at their defensive rating, they're a little bit further down, 19th in the league, 112.4. But when they're on the road, they actually have the best defensive rating in the league, 103.3. So if we dive deeper into it, we go to killersports.com. And it's still not working. Okay. All right, so 7-4 straight up, 8-3 against the spread, 6-4-1 to the under. You can see we talked about DPA. They're limiting their opponents well below their expected score. They limited the Kings to 105. They limited the Suns to 99, Spurs to 87. So obviously their defense has been killing it. But if we look specifically on the road, 3-1 straight up, 3-1 against the spread, 3-1 to the under, allowing 103.2 per game. No opponent has scored over 105 against this team here. And I think the Warriors team total, if we go back to the live odds screen page, if we go to team totals, 112 is what we're seeing here for consensus. So 112, it's well below that team total number here for the Warriors. And if we go to the Warriors side, and 6-6 straight up, 6-6 against the spread, 7-5 to the under. One thing to note here is last season, the Warriors, if we go back to last season, the Warriors struggled on the road a lot more than they did at home. So if we go A is road, so 13-35 straight up, 14-34 against the spread. Their defense really struggled on the road last season. And we look at how they did at home. It was pretty much the opposite, 37-10, 30-6, 30-16-1, and then more towards the under. You can see that big gap between what they allowed at home versus road. Now you're looking at 2023. Obviously, the season hasn't had too many games, but 1-4 against straight up, 1-4 against the spread. The straight up record and ATS record pretty much the opposite. And if you go on the road, now they're doing well this season, 5-2 straight up, 5-2 against the spread. So the home road splits between the seasons have been pretty drastically different in my opinion. So it's really hard to understand if the trends will continue, the road versus home splits. But for the most part, I kind of agree with some of the buyback coming down from the 27. I feel like the Warriors defense is going to be their primary focus. They're going to have to limit the Thunder here if they want to stay close with this team. Obviously, their offense has been struggling, and if they're their main guy Curry is off the on the injured list. He's off. He's not going to be playing today. Draymond Green, he's sort of that engine offensively. Um, uh, you know what I mean? So it's going to be tough for me to see them uh, outscore the Thunder in this spot. Um, but I think if you look at some of the things that we looked at here, the Thunder obviously healthy, the Warriors struggling with health, but at the same time, I just I feel like the Thunder. Let's go back to the Thunder one more time. I'm not 100% sure that they can keep up the defense here on the road like this. Having them travel, I mean, what fourth straight game where they have to travel, right? Road, one game homestand here, then road again here to Golden State. So I just feel like they've been traveling a little bit too much, kind of going back and forth across the country. That they might get hit with the travel fatigue, in my opinion. So I stayed away from the side here. I actually stayed away from this game altogether because for me, there's just mixed narratives, in my opinion. So I know I know a lot of my colleagues are liking the under here. I mean, I would lean that way. I just can't get to the window with it. Um, so that's it for today. I kind of went through, like I said, it's a little bit different today because I went through some of the sources that I use, killersports.com, gimmethedog.com, the NBA stats, Wager Talk live odds screen page, obviously helpful. I didn't show like my model and all that stuff just because there's a lot that goes on with it. Um, but you know, I'm gonna give out a free play today, which is the team total over on the net side 106. That's what I got today. That's what I gave to clients today. So if you're watching this episode, you don't have to go to wagertalk.com and buy that play today. That's the one that I gave out. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not everything that I do when I handicap, but at least you get a glimpse of what I do in the back end. And yeah, so the other thing to mention too, you know, make sure you guys look at the promo codes down here on the bottom scrolling there. Like I said, there's two promo codes that you could use if you want a short term. Just try it out. Assist 50% off a 3 or 7 day all access pass, or the long term option, hoops $499 for $499. Get the rest of the NBA season through the finals and the championship, and that equates to just over $2 per day. Like I said, I'm hitting over 56% of my NBA plays, and I'm on a 14 2-1 run in the NBA right now. Um, Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button as well. Make sure you guys come tune in every Tuesday and Thursday for my show. On these shorter slates, I'm going to continue to do the screen sharing piece. Also, got to mention the giveaway here. So we got the Tyrese Haliburton rookie rated rookie Donruss optic, and we also have the Mosaic Red Wave rookie of Cameron Johnson, who is playing today. So the way that I want to do this is in the comment section. In the comment section, drop your projection for Cam Johnson's PRA today, and the person closest to it will get these cards plus some a customized pack of cards as well with some of your favorite players and teams and things like that. So that's the contest today. These are the two main cards that I'm giving out, and make sure you drop in the projection for Cam Johnson's PRA today against the Miami Heat. Good luck to everybody. Also, make sure you guys you know, drop any of your projections, your plays today. I always like to reply during the week and during the day to some of you guys. And if you guys have any questions, drop those in the comments as well. All right, till next time, guys. Fair to follow. Good luck. Peace.